Hello everybody, welcome back to the OK Prep Signing Day special. I'm standing here with a couple Oologah Mustangs. Jimmy McKinney signed with Kansas State earlier today. Breyden DeSpain signed with Central Arkansas earlier today as well. Breyden, a wide receiver, Jimmy, a linebacker, as well as a running back for Oologah, going to the defensive side only up in Manhattan. I appreciate both of you guys for coming out here this evening. Jimmy, let's start with you. The overall career at Oologah, how would you describe it?
It's been pretty successful. I've been blessed to start as a freshman all the way up to my senior year. So I'm thankful for that opportunity to go out there and learn from everyone and, really develop my game.
We get your thoughts on your career at Oologah as well, but want to ask the question that might be on a lot of people's minds as far as football goes. How are you doing? I know you suffered a serious injury in the state championship game. I know you've been able to return to the basketball floor as well. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling better. It's obviously sucks to break in the state championship and not be able to finish it out with my brothers practically. But I went to physical therapy and just trying to get back to normal. And basketball season's going now, so I'm just trying to get to that.
How would you define your career at Oologah over the last couple of years? Obviously, the last two seasons didn't end the way you'd want it, but overall, a pretty successful career.
Yeah, definitely successful. Making it 2 state championships, not many people can say that, so that was great. But my career was great. Love playing for Coach Craig, and I love my 4 years here at Oologah.
We'll talk about your college future here in a bit, but I want to get to Kansas State with you. You've been committed to K-State since, I think, last July was when you committed, I believe.
Yeah, around August 1st.
Okay, so you've been committed for a long time, and we've talked with several guys who are in that kind of similar boat where they haven't wavered from their commitment. What was it about Kansas State and the program that where when you committed, we see a lot of decommitments nowadays, you stuck to it?
I talked to my family and everyone, and I wanted to make the decision for one school only. Once I committed, I didn't want to decommit or talk to any other schools, but K-State really stuck out to me with the family aspect and, how Coach Snyder runs the program. And, you never see anyone in the newspapers or the news on the TV for anything bad they do or anything like that. And, the graduation rate there is probably one of the best in the country. So, that's another thing I looked at, and I talked to my family about it, and that's why I decided to go there.
We talked a little bit before we came on, and we had A.J. Parker in here, Bartlesville corner, headed up to Manhattan as well. You already threw out the potential of, hey, we might be rooming together.
Yeah, we've talked about it a little bit here and there, but I think we got to run by our coaches, and we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to it.
2 Oklahomans headed up to Kansas State. We already talked with A.J. Parker. Jimmy McKinney also headed up there as well. Breyden, you decided to go ahead and commit to Central Arkansas, UCA. But first, you thought you might go the JUCO route at NEO. What led first the decision to head to NEO and give them a commitment?
NEO, I thought it'd be a good school to go there, try to stay there a year, and then try to transfer and get a bigger D1 offer that I was waiting for. But I was thinking about doing that, and UCA had interest in me this summer, and they offered me before the season started. And then so it kind of fell off with their commitments and all that stuff, so they kind of were out of the picture. So I was like, all right, I'll just go NEO. And then Sunday, they re-offered right before signing day. So, it was a blessing, and, I'm glad I've taken it, and I'm happy to be there.
I have to ask you the question because their field is goofy, man. I got to be honest with you. I don't know if you've seen it. I know you have to like the purple because you're in Kansas State, but I don't know about playing on the purple. They got the purple and silver field. I don't know how I feel about it. How do you feel about it?
I haven't played on there yet, so we'll see if it affects me. Hopefully I can still catch out there, but Boise State does, and they're pretty successful if they're winning at home, so maybe try it and see if it does the same for them.
How would you define yourself as a receiver? I think you're one of the more underrated guys in this class. I think you have a chance to be pretty special at the next level. That's just me. Yeah. I think that receiver-wise, you have all the skills, and I think people might look at you and just based off of tape or whatever, they don't think you're as fast as you actually are. How would you define yourself as a receiver?
Yeah, speed is a huge thing. They base their 40s off, but 4.4, 4.5, 4.6. In the game, I don't think it matters. I think it's just game speed, how you react, and I think I set my routes up good enough to where I can get open and kind of use my speed. And I have long legs, so I think my top speed is just as good.
Jimmy has been a standout for Oologah, both a running back and linebacker. He's headed to K-State as a linebacker. You've seen him plenty of times over the last 4 years at Oologah. How would you describe his play at a linebacker position?
I think Jimmy is by far, not by far, but I think he's the best linebacker in the state. I've watched him for 4 years, and he's a good leader on the field and off the field. And just kind of have to see what he does. We go off him. If his energy's high, we're going to play high, and we're just going to play tough.
I'll go to you and ask the same question about Breyden. How would you describe him as a wide receiver?
He's an explosive player. He has huge plays in the game that we need at certain points. And, if we always have a struggle with a fourth down or something, we can always depend on him to go up and get the ball for us.
At the linebacker position, obviously you get a chance to hit people a lot. And to be honest with you, as far as linebackers go, I think you might be one of, if not the hardest hitter in this 2016 class. How would you describe yourself as a linebacker?
When I hit you, I'm going to hit you. I'm not going to go any way about it, but I'm going to go through you. So, running backs will talk all the time about, if they hit you, they're going to want you to feel it. So when I hit you, I want you to feel it too. So if that happens and we both collide, I'm going to be the winner.
How much did you use your experience at the running back position to help you excel at linebacker? Because you can kind of start to get into a running back's head and know what he's looking for when he's looking at a defense.
As a running back, you always want to look for the open holes. And so as a linebacker, you want to fill those holes. So it kind of just goes back and forth. So it helps me see where running backs I think he's going to go. If a gap closes down, he's going to bounce it, or if he's going to cut it all the way back, I can kind of just sense that since I've played the position.
I want to ask both of you this question. We'll get you out of here on this. And, again, I appreciate both of you coming out here and being a part of this signing day special. The kind of theme of tonight is how special this 2016 class is. I mean, we have a guy like Breyden who might not be up there in rankings, but any other year he'd be a top 25 guy in any other class in Oklahoma. That's just how deep Oklahoma is this year. What does it mean for you first to be a part of a class in Oklahoma that is so deep, that's sending so many guys to the college level?
It's very special. I'm glad Oklahoma's representing, and we're, spreading our roots out in the country. So, that's really cool about that. But, I think Breyden's pretty underrated, everywhere in the country. Yeah. I think he's definitely D1. He shouldn't only have one D1 offer. But, I think this 2016 class is very special. We have a lot of special guys, Parker, Kyle, all those top 15, top 20 guys. Those are crazy athletes. So looking forward to seeing what they can do next level.
I know you're going to see a lot of those guys because I mentioned in our first segment 5 of the top 12 in this class are headed to Oklahoma State. So you're going to be really familiar with a lot of those guys in the Big 12. I will say that. Same question for you, Breyden, being a part of this class, how deep it is. And we saw this talent a little bit when you guys were sophomores, and we started seeing, oh, man, 2016 class is going to be really deep. What does it mean for you to be a part of this special class?
It's definitely special. I mean, this is, I think, a stacked class as far as Oklahoma goes, and kind of shows us that, the Oklahoma athletes, they can play too. We're going to show going all these Big 12 schools that we can play with the Texas kids. We can play with all the best of the best, I think. These prospects for Oklahoma were real this year.
These guys are headed to the Division I level. They're a part of that special 2016 class, both from Oologah. Jimmy McKinney, good luck at Kansas State. We appreciate you coming out.
Thank you.
Breyden DeSpain, we appreciate your time as well. Good luck at Central Arkansas.
Appreciate it.
For these guys, I'm Michael Knight. We're back with our final guest after this, wide receiver Sammy Akim from Broken Arrow. He's headed to the University of Montana. I don't know. We'll ask him why. I don't remember Montana coming into Oklahoma and recruiting very hard. They got actually 2 commits from Oklahoma. They got Sammy as well as a big offensive lineman from Owasso. So they got 2 of them. I don't know why. We'll find out. We'll ask him. This is the OK Prep Signing Day special right here on your home for National Signing Day in Oklahoma, okpreps.com.